so we clearly moved into the kitchen.
Yay!
We had our email glitches and now the sun is down. So we're in the kitchen. We're going to answer this question. It's my dad with me in case you missed the other 2 episodes. So yeah, I'm excited. And before we hop right in, as usual, these videos are sponsored by Netflix. So if you use netflix.com/Nikki, you get a free 30-day trial of Netflix. We're obsessed with it. I just told you guys that we just finished season 2 House of Cards. It's an adult show, so if you're young, don't watch it, but the writing is great. And now we're watching Parks and Rec, which is for all ages.
Yes, it is.
And that's all on Netflix. So we're going to jump into the question. Do you like that show?
Yes.
It's freaking hilarious.
Yes, it is. It's amusing.
Yeah, and that show's fully...
You're talking about Parks and Rec.
Yeah. It's totally a clean show, too, which is really refreshing.
Yes.
So, okay, I'm going to jump in. Dear Nikki and guest... My dad. There's this guy I dated for like a week. We were pretty close, or so I thought, until he dumped me for reasons that I didn't find out about until recently. He decided that if I wasn't going to have sex with him, then I wasn't worth it. I was really hurt, and I still am. My problem is that I can't stop thinking about him, and all the times he was genuinely sweet to me. You see, even though we only dated that week, we had been hanging out for months before that. Our friendship, she put the quotes, not me, ended when we had a huge fight over text messaging. Although he ended it telling me he found himself even more attracted to me, he is in the Marines in California, and I keep getting the urge to text him and say hello, but all of my friends would be disappointed in me if I did. What should I do? Who wants to start?
That's a multi-part question.
I know. They usually are multi-part questions.
Yes. Well, I gotta admit, I mean, you know, because I'm old, you might assume this would be the way I'd go. But it was smart, I think, for you to not have sex with him, not because I'm a stodge, but because that is an incredibly intimate thing that's best saved for once you're married and best saved for the one you're going to be with. That's what I think. And
yeah, and if someone's willing to dump you over that, I just think,
yeah, that might be a leading indicator of a priority that's maybe he wants something higher than just you. Maybe he's looking more to serve his own needs than to love you. Because sometimes the loving thing to love you means saying no to me. Mm-hmm. So,
yep,
that would be a take.
Yeah, I agree. I know that that's not everyone's thing, like waiting till marriage, and maybe that wasn't your intention, but the fact that you said that you didn't want to and he left you because of that, because I feel like even if someone doesn't want to wait for that, or that's not their thing, if they know the person they love, it is their thing, then it should be a respect thing. Like, oh, okay, that's not what you want. Well, I love you, so I'll wait. Now, typically, I think that if that is something, which you didn't say, but if that was something that you wanted, I do think it tends to be easier to find someone who also wants that, because that's very hard to hold off. But that is honestly the thing that stood out to me the most, is that even though he was nice, if that's something you didn't want to do, as much as it hurts, I think it's good to remind yourself why you did that, because there are a lot of nice people on the planet.
Yeah, there are.
And I've said this before in videos. Dan knows, he's heard me say it in videos. I've said it to his face. I don't really believe in soulmates, and it's because I've run through this whole thing. Like, I'm so attached to Dan, and I'm like, what am I gonna do if he dies? So I've like run through this all mentally. I'm like, okay, if Dan dies, like, love is a choice, and there are a ton of people I get along with on the planet. No relationship will ever mirror what I've had with Dan, and I would be really, really sad. I'd be really devastated, Dan, so please don't go die on me. But you choose to love someone. And so the point of that is, I don't actually remember the point of that.
Yeah.
I get on my little tangents, and then I forget the whole point.
Well, yeah, because love, the word love, there's so many different definitions of the word love, and you can watch a Hollywood movie and get one idea of what love is, and a lot of people think love is related to lust, and, you know, there are a lot of magazines that will tell you that. And so it starts with getting a definition of what love is, what love really means, and how it plays out in life. And I really think that, again, that sex, there's an intimacy factor involved with that, you know, best friends with benefits, you know, that sounds good, but it doesn't, you know, there are strings attached. There are emotional strings that attach it. When you try and break that off, can hurt.
Yeah.
Can hurt in a bad way. And it leaves scars. So that's my thought.
I agree with that. And by the way, 2 things. A, the point of that tangent I went on was to say, I know you liked him, but I think there will be other people you like. And I remember there was a guy that I dated right before Dan. Oh, I was so upset when we like broke up or were so sad. I was like, is this feeling, I know I'm going to move on. Is this feeling actually going to go away? And I'm laughing because it stopped recording. I had to pick up that line. But yeah, I remember asking myself. And it's funny because yes, the feeling has 100% gone away. And in the moment, I really wondered, like, will it really ever go away? I know I'll move on, but will it? So that's why it's important, I think, to keep in mind what you want in dating someone, because then when the feelings come, you can go, it's a feeling. It doesn't mean that that's true. It's just a feeling. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, we didn't mean to make this into like a harping thing on like sex and marriage. And I know a lot of you guys will have different opinions. And whatever your opinions are, as usual, put them in the comments because we've only lived our lives. We haven't lived other people's lives. So I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts and experiences. But these are our thoughts. And the same thing obviously stood out to both of us in the context of this conversation or this question. So I would say if you're friends with him to end up or to jump to the end of that question, if you want to be friends with him, that's fine. I think that's harder, but that's fine if you want to be friends with him. But I would say your friends are probably right, and I think your gut knows your friends are right, to just let there be distance. You kind of have a really easy out. He's like in another state in the Marines. You have an easy out. I would say pursue what you love in life. Find out who you are. Go after your passions. Hang out with your friends.
Yeah, I totally agree. I agree.
So, the Twitter question says, what is your opinion for when your girlfriend, for when your girlfriend is talking to their ex after you've been going out for 6 months? This question is from a guy. What is your opinion when your girlfriend's talking to your ex after you've been going out for 6 months? I'm assuming. It just depends what that is, really.
You go ahead and talk. I gotta read that question.
So if I'm dating someone for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I just he starts talking to his ex, or I start talking to
his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, so his girlfriend is talking to her ex-boyfriend.
Right.
I think that's what they're saying.
Who's your current boyfriend now?
No. I think this is more, this would just be like, if Dan had an ex-girlfriend and he was still talking to her as we were dating.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Except it's just the opposite sex. I mean, it just kind of depends on the nature of that relationship.
Right.
I don't think there's really any like black or white thing. I think if they're going to that person instead of you for like emotional comfort and like emotional support and conversations, it just kind of depends. I don't think there's really like a this or this. Like you're in the situation. Yeah.
So understanding what she's saying, the nature of the relationship. You know, what kind of friendship do they have? And then also, is this is a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship or it's a marriage relationship? If you're married and your spouse is going to their ex, I think that magnifies it fivefold. And then one of the things you want to get is feedback from your spouse. Mm-hmm. Hey, how does that make you feel? Are you concerned about that? Does that bother you? Because, the relationships, exactly what Nikki's saying, the relationships can have different flavors or context. Sometimes it might be, heck no, man. They've moved on too. They have another life. It's just pure friends. That's fine. And you know that. You can litmus test that and see it or sense it. Or if there's concerns about it and your spouse says, you know what, it really eats me out. I feel like they're moving in on you or they're trying to get in between us. That's a different situation.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
100% agree.
And a good situation, and that's a good context to respect the wishes of your loved one and go, you know what, let's just snap that off.
Very violently like that.
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
Yeah, with the sound effect.
Yes, if possible.
Yeah.
So guys, that is it. Thank you, Dad, for being on this episode. Be sure to send your questions to asknikkiP@gmail.com, or you can use the hashtag AskNikkiP, or you can just sign up for Netflix with my link and feel like I'm watching Netflix with you all the time, because there is a good chance that I am watching Netflix at the exact same time because I'm obsessed.
Yeah, and remember, if any of the things I've said have offended you, please blame her. I'm just a guest.
Yeah, exactly. Bye!